I really like my pre-thyroid surgery haircut. Thought y'all might get a kick out of that. Okay, let's get this back a little bit. I'm going to craft a little bit. I finally got a little bit of energy. I'm going to craft a little bit. Still look horrible under my eyes, but we're okay. So if you're going to tune into this later, I am crafting with stuff that I've had in my stash for a long while. And this is actually a hurricane lamp with a cast iron base. And if I knew it didn't have a crack or a leak because it has a couple of spots, I would put oil in it and keep it as a lamp. But because I don't trust it, I'm not going to. I'm going to turn it into something pretty. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this flower. It's called a flower trumpet, I believe. Hi, everybody. Don't go crazy at my hair. It will grow back. But we had to blend it in with where I cut my sides. And then I had to cut it short enough so that it will not get into this right here when I pull it back. And nothing will fall down and get into my thyroid incision when they do it. So, yes, I have a Joe Dirt mullet. I'm going to rock it for a while. But what I'm doing today is I'm using this old cast iron hurricane lamp, which if it didn't have some spots in it that kind of make me question it, I'd probably keep it and put a globe on it because look at that beautiful bottom on that thing. Look at that beautiful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a flower trumpet and hot glue and the generic stuff, and that's what we're going to do. Hi, Braden. Well, I haven't been here in a while either. I found out that my thyroid was on the brink of death, and so now I'm getting prepped for a thyroid removal surgery. That's why my eyes are brown and I look like crap. But you know, it is what it is. And most of my hair had turned to straw, and it just happened all of a sudden. And so I am prepping myself for thyroid surgery. Of course, the trolls that are, you know, the underbelly of society that come in here, they don't care. They're just going to say nasty things. But let them say nasty things and run on with their little selves. I'd hate to think that that was my enjoyment for the day, was making fun of somebody that was near death. But hey, you know. I'm not so pretty. I look like Joe Dirt in his hairdo, but I'll get used to it. It's not bad when I shape it up and put product in it. It's not that bad and kind of curl the bottoms out. But I have to have it short where I can do this and where nothing will fall down in the incision area. So mullet, here we are. I think when it grows out here in about 2 to 3 weeks, it'll be okay. But we had to match it where I had to shave when I had the mastoiditis. So, you know, it is what it is. It's hair. It grows back. I'm not really worried about it. I'm going to be rocking a ball cap a lot this summer. Well, my mom is from Gary, Indiana. And I'm not Apache, but I'm Cherokee. So I don't think it would bother me to live with either. That's a silly question. I don't know why it should bother anyone to live with anyone as long as they're a decent person. And as long as you've got a good heart and you're not going to hurt people, I don't see any reason why somebody would not want to be a roommate. I had lots of roommates when I was in college. Some of them I didn't particularly care for, but it was because they were not the nicest people in the world. And they were belligerent and kind of mean to other people. That's why I didn't particularly care for them. But I also had to get up at 5 a.m. and go to work. And then I had to be at class at 9. And then I got off 30 minutes for lunch. And I got one more class. And then I had to go back to the barn and work till about 10. So that's how I paid my bills. And those kids really didn't have to pay any bills. So we didn't see eye to eye on a lot of things. Hi, Gypsy. Gypsy's actually going to come and spend some time with me. And my new haircut, don't freak out about it when it grows out in about 3 weeks. It'll be pretty. But I needed I needed to be able to like pull this back and then have nothing up here that would fall on the incision site. So my nurses are being really helpful with all this and helping me prep for it without freaking me out, because the doctors just want to freak you out. Oh, we're just gonna take your thyroid out. You're gonna have to be on medicine the whole rest of your life. No big deal, man. No big deal. And it's like, no, man, it's a big deal, man. It's a big deal. And the medicine they put me on, I've lost 90 pounds, but the medicine they put me on, now I've only lost 80 pounds because it makes me swell and it's horrible. I don't like it. It makes me feel like crap, but I'm getting used to it now, so I'm hoping that I have some better days. But I have the final ultrasound Wednesday morning, and then the endocrinologist will see me and set up the surgery date. And I'm so blind I can't even see to put the needle back in this jewelry glue hole. Hello? Hey, I've got it. I got it. Okay, so what I've done is I've thrifted an old hurricane lamp with a cast iron base. I don't know how old this thing is. I wanted to keep it for myself, but it had some imperfections and I was scared to put oil in it, try to burn it. So I found this flower. I call it a flower flute. It's supposed to go the other way, but I got an idea. Don't I always have an idea? I probably should have less ideas. That would probably be better. But anyway, what we're going to do is pack it with moss and flowers and straw, and then we're going to put some birds around it, like it's a little topiary that the birds have landed on and are just, you know, totally missed the garbage, and just chillaxing on. Just chillaxing on. So that's what I want to do here, is make this kind of a little topiary where the birds are just chillaxing. And I think that'd be cute. And I think it will save something from the landfill, which is always an awesome thing. And I think it will be something that a lot of people are like, what is that? Because I don't think a lot of people have ever used hurricane lamps in their life, let alone seen them. So it's not anything that I can really put fur or bone into, but it is something that I think I can make pretty and save from the landfill. So that's my option. I thought momentarily about my springbok hide that I have, about framing it and seeing if somebody wanted to buy it. But I'm so attached to that springbok hide, I don't think I can do that. So, but I do have some raccoon purses and some raccoon hats. And ouch, that was my finger. And I have tons of jewelry. Y'all want to see some jewelry? Y'all want to see some? What are you for reeling about? I'm 46 years old. I'm a retired parole officer, and I really just stop. So if you like resin jewelry, this is sea glass and sea glass sediment and sea glass and resin. I like those quite a bit because you can see through them. See, one of my favorite ones that I've made so far with the sea glass and the sediment rock has been the moon. But now I do the weird, you know, my husband's a trapper tanner, so whether we're going through squat or not, he gives me all the leftovers. So this right here is a coyote baculum, and if you have to look up the word baculum, don't come here and tell me I'm a stupid hillbilly, because I know what it means. This is a coyote baculum. I've got some sea glass rock. I've got a Tibetan silver hook to it, and I have resin jeweled with several different types, mostly obsidian, and then some, I think I've got some pink and white quartz in there on a silver chain. I just think that's pretty for what it is. And you can see the back of the bone there. I even put a little jewel there, but there is the coyote. And let's see, I did one plain raccoon baculum. I just did a wire wrapped raccoon baculum because some people just like them plain. They call them Arkansas toothpicks. I don't know why people like them at all, but hey, if they like them, I'll make them. Got some Renaissance people that have been asking for stuff, so I put one of those bird skulls, and I put some watermelon quartz on that one, and I put soda light and another one of those silver bird skulls down there. I really like the bird skulls. This is one that I just gemmed out. I just put a lot of gems on it. There are people that like them with just a lot of gems. So I've got Sodalite, Adventurine, Dalmatian, and Jasper, and clear quartz on that. Let's see here. So my gumption to get myself better is so I don't feel so hot. I've been real sick for a long time. My gumption to get myself better is, it looks like the TWRA is going to give Tennessee like 3 rifle bear days this year. And so my gumption is, if I can get better, get through this surgery, get better, and get my energy levels back up to where they were, then I'm going to rifle hunt and try to get me a bear this year. Bear is something that I have never hunted because they just recently started the season in my area, even though they've been tons of them here forever. They just recently started black bear hunts maybe 7-8 years ago. But it's been archery only. And excuse me, but no thank you. I archery hunt everything else when I was little, I did. But I'm not going to archery hunt a bear. But I will rifle hunt. So I'm going to go rifle hunt a bear. And that's my motivation to get better. If you saw my brother on 10 Hunt Farm Guy, he went to Canada last week and took my dad too. I think Dad was just like the camp cook and the court jester, but he got a black bear. It wasn't the biggest. It was really pretty fur though, but I want to get, like, it's a sibling competition. Like, I want to get a bigger black bear than my brother. So this one has got some really pretty sea sediment in it. Now this is sediment and not sea glass, and I like this quite a bit. Everything is resined and on there and probably will outlive me. But I always want the bone to show, because I want people to know what they are. Normally when they see what they are, they're like, oh yeah, I want that. And it cracks me up. Now these are the very front of a deer's teeth. So that's how tiny those are compared to my hand. That's how tiny the little front, about 4 teeth up here that stick out. That's how tiny they are. Let's see. I have one more of those, but I did it on another angle. I did that one like stripes. I like that one quite a bit. And let's see, I've got something else on here. I've got a jewelry holder here, but I've made so much, it's full. I made this, and this was Adventurine with another deer tooth. And again, that's one of the front down here, the little skinny one. It's not a molar. And you can see it from both sides, but on this front side, you can feel them. I leave the rocks, the gems, and the bone just barely sticking up so people can feel them. Because a lot of people have never, they've never come in contact with a deer, let alone its teeth. And I did another, this is like a watermelon pink quartz. I did another one with the deer tooth. And my Cherokee background is if you have an animal, you don't waste any part of that animal, because to waste any part of the animal is disrespectful. This one is just amethyst in resin. And I like them because you can see through them. I like them, the transparency. I made Kim a really pretty one, and she's wore it every day since I give it to her, and they have just worn so well. I'm tickled to death at how good they're hanging on. And I normally, when I make something, I will wear one for a few days too. So I have one that I've been wearing, but you have to take stuff off for CTs and ultrasounds and stuff. So I had some orgonite, and that's the one thing I ran out of in my little, I call it my little honey hole of gems, before I made some of this. And I was so irritated that I ran out of it. But I have tons of sodalite and tons of selenite. And so I've got quite a bit, and I've got some of the Dalmatian, which really makes stuff really pretty. So So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this old hurricane lamp that can't work anymore. This got the bell here. It's got an old cast iron bottom. God knows it's probably way older than I am. And I just turned 46, okay? I just look really old this week because I'm really sick. But that's okay. I'll bounce back. I always do. But I've got to have my thyroid surgically removed. Mostly, I think, because doctors are buttheads. But hey, you know, whatever. The numbers have been so bad lately that they're like, they don't know how I'm functioning. So they're like, we don't know how you're alive. And I'm like, you're not the first or even the 10th person to tell me that. So, I have a neuromuscular disorder that's a lot like MS that just tears my body apart. So you just get used to being told you're on the verge of death, you know? You just get used to it. I have, because this is one of the more serious issues I've had, I did like go and put the kids as beneficiaries on my bank account and stuff like that. Lord, and it was weird for me to do stuff like that because I'd never done stuff like that. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to layer with another color of stuff. Let me see. You're a miracle girl. I try. I don't always. See my little walkie card over there? Sometimes I'm a slow miracle. Let's see. We're going to keep going with this because I'm going to hide all this old rusty stuff. But I want the moss to be able to fall where it wants to. And I actually don't mind that little turn right there showing. That's pretty. So, but had this not had some defects in it, I would have put a globe on it and used it as a lamp because it just I fell in love with it the moment I saw it, and then I started looking through it and I was like, oh man, because I really wanted this to be an addition to my hurricane lamp. Because if you live in Podunk and don't have a hurricane lamp, you're in trouble when it comes to ice storm or something. I can remember when I was little that this was the only light we had in the house during most of the ice storms and snowstorms. And we played Monopoly by hurricane lamplight. We played cards. We sewed. It was just normal. We had a fireplace in the house, and Mom could cook on it and in it. And so we just, some of my fondest memories growing up are when school was out because of blizzards or snowstorms, and I was at home crafting or taking care. Normally, I had a lot of sheep that were lambing at that time, so I'd have a lot of baby lambs running around, and you always had one or two that had to. Their mom would either not have milk or would push them off because they were the first time having babies, and you'd always end up with one or two in the utility room or the kitchen on the linoleum floor getting bottle fed. It was just, I think the world would be a better place if people grew up and had to take care of animals. And Lord, if you had to deal with a mule for 30 days, you'd be a different person, because that mule will remember whatever you did to him for 10 years. And when you think he's forgotten, no, he'll get you. When I was a parole officer, I said the world would be a better place if all parolees had to hang on to a mule, had to be shackled to a mule for 30 days. I said that mule would teach them how to behave, because them mules don't forget nothing. And the judge and the people on the parole board there that day, because we was all having a big meeting, they just laughed. And I thought, well, it's true. And he said, that's actually not a bad idea. I said, I've got sidekicked more than once, and I said, you learn how to be polite when you realize they're bigger than you. Dad's got a bull right now that hates me, and I don't know why he hates me. I used to work show cattle and halter break show cattle, the bulls, and for some reason his bull just hates me, and I don't know why, but he'll let me get up to the fence and look at the calves and the cows and the heifers that are still waiting to calve, and then he'll be like, okay, that's enough, you can leave now. And I'm like, dude, I was just here just wanting to see the babies. But I think he truly hates me. Okay, so now I've completely moss covered it. Oh, look, we could have made a gnome. I've completely moss covered it. I will be making gnomes this year again. Don't worry. That gnomes will be happening. I used to halter break limousine. Now, Dad's Angus are mixed with Simmental. So that's why they look a little longer and leaner, a little meaner. Dad's Angus are mixed with Simmental. But I swear he don't like me. And I've tried. I've been super nice to him, and I've not approached him. I've not been mean to him. He just does not like me. And I thought, okay, we got a personality conflict. That's okay. Okay, I'm going to put a stick of eucalyptus in here because I'm going to need somewhere to stick a bird here in a minute. My glue gun smells like, ugh, I do not know. Maybe it's on its way out. I have like 4 now. Maybe it's going to croak on me. Give me a reason to get a new one. So I am up top. If y'all are like, oh, look, we've got a normal background. I am up top for 3 days for ultrasound, nurse visit, and until my nurse reads my ultrasound, I have to stay here because it's closer to the ER. Well, we don't have an ER. We have a triage center because we don't have a hospital here. It's closer to the triage center, and it's closer to my nurse if I'm down on the farm where I've been staying, just so I could have more people with eyes on me when I was feeling worse. I am 35 minutes from my nurse and like 30 minutes from the triage center. So my nurse was like, can you please, until we know exactly what's going on with the ultrasound, can you please stay? And I was like, yes, ma'am. So I have been rendered on top of the plateau until I get this ultrasound done and they get the findings back. And then my nurse can say, yes, you can go back to the farm, or nope, you can't. So it's a pain in the butt. But when you live in Podunk and you ain't got no hospital, they tend to monitor you a little bit more. Okay, let's see. Let's add something else. Let me see if I can catch it. What's the cat's name? Honey, I don't believe you're telling a lie at all. When I was a parole officer, I saw a lot of people that because they did not come from a family that could get a good attorney, they got sent to sentences that no one else would ever have been given. And that's one thing I hated about my job, was that you could desperately see at times that it was not real. It was, money ruins everything. Money is the biggest in the world. It ruins everything. But now I found out once that the cops had basically staged a guy because I heard them laugh about it. And they basically didn't want him in the community, wanted him to go back to prison. And I was his parole officer, so they had trumped up charges. And they thought they were going to get rid of him that quick. And I heard them laugh about staging charges, and I went back and dismissed my warrant, let him back out. And they just looked at me, and I said, y'all are real lucky. I'd really like to turn y'all in right now. But I knew it wouldn't come to nothing because crooked people protect each other, sadly. But, I met some good officers, but I worked like an 8-county rotation, so I was everywhere. Legit everywhere. Around here we call them the pod fathers. You the pod father? That's what we call around here, the pod fathers. And I had one guy that had a speech impediment, bless his heart, and he said, I'm the pod father. And I was like, the what? The pod father. I said, don't say it again. I'll laugh, and I'll not mean to be mean, but I will laugh. He goes, yeah, I'm the pod father. I said, stop saying that. He was like 6'4" and mean as the day is long. But I had him and his daddy on parole. His daddy's passed away now. And he called me. He found me somehow and called me about a month before he passed away. But I was in the hospital. I was really sick then. I was in the hospital. And I never returned his call because I thought it was kind of inappropriate. And then I saw in the paper of the other county, because I got the papers of all the counties I worked in, because, when you have to do that. You just got to. He died. And I felt so bad. I felt so bad. I was like, man, he just wanted to tell me how sick he was. And I went and talked to him. Made me feel real bad. But I had a murderer out of Kentucky that taught me more about being a good human being than anybody else I've ever known. He was 16 and with a bunch of boys. He didn't know that they had planned to go and rob a gas station. They had just asked him if he wanted to come along to take the blame. When people you don't know say, do you want to come along with us? Don't go. They want you to take the blame. Okay? And he got the same charge because everybody there got the same charge. And it was kind of sad because he didn't do anything, but he said I was there, I should have known better, and he said I took my charge. He did 20-something years in Kentucky. When he got out, moved back to Tennessee, he got in church, found a church lady, married a wonderful woman, and was just the most beloved person. We went through cancer 3 times, and the 3rd time it had metastasized, and he said, I'm not going to fight it. And I had to respect his wishes on that one, but it hurt me anyway. And when he died, I had to close my office door and cry for about 2 hours because that man, he had changed more and done more with himself after spending so much time in jail. He was proof that you could be whoever you wanted to be if you woke up and decided to be that person. And I adored him. Ow. I just burnt myself. But I adored him. He was one of the most changed individuals I ever saw my whole time being a parole officer. I had one that they sent me and they said, we're going to send you this guy, Elizabeth, because everybody else is scared of him. Because I did the murderers and the violent men. I do really well with violent men. But when I was healthy and stuff, I also hog hunted and all that. So violent men, 600-pound wild boar, But they sent him to me because everybody else is scared of him. I share his music now on my page. He came in, he was 6'4". He had a duck to get in the door. And I tried to pick on him because they said he was mean. And I couldn't find any meanness in him. People saw him as mean, and so they anticipated him to be mean, and he gave them what they anticipated. And I said, you let people just drag you and put you in jail? And he said, well, I hadn't thought about it like that. I said, you let people dictate your life. And after that, he learned how to dictate his own life. And he got through parole, and he loved to play guitar and sing, and he could write music just wonderfully. And he is now doing songwriting competitions and writing songs about overcoming addiction and talking to kids in state's custody so that they don't end up, in the same place he was. And he's just a gem. He's just a gem. And people can change. You can wake up every day and be whoever you want to be. And whoever you want to be, that's on you, because you get to make that decision. You can't blame it on other people. Well, I was running with this crowd. Well, you chose to run with that crowd, or they didn't tell me this. Well, then you should have suspected by their behavior that they were not trustworthy. You have to become really responsible for yourself. And a lot of people, that's a hard thing to do. And I get it. I understand that completely. Gosh, especially when you become a parent. But you have to become responsible and accountable. And you have to see the sides of you that you may not necessarily like and that other people may not necessarily like. But you have to see them so that you can deal with them, so that you can like yourself, so that other people can start to like you too. Because until you like yourself, nobody else is going to like you. And I had an 84% success rate, which was unheard of. And they said, how are you doing this? And I said, well, I have a master's in psychology. I'm a counselor first. I'm a parole officer second. I want to see these guys do well. And so that's what I worked on, was helping them become a changed person and finding out who they wanted to be, really, authentically who they wanted to be. And I had some huge successes, and I liked it. That's the pretty side now. That's cute. And if y'all want to know, this is how seriously I'm taking this thyroid surgery, because it is very risky. And it kind of whips you in every. It's got my heart racing. It's got my energy just. I've got my one grandchild's name on me, but then my daughter had twins, and I I've been so sick I hadn't got to go and get the names on. Well, I was so worried because here comes this big surgery, and I would have felt so bad if I had died and only had one of my grandbabies' names on me. So I went and got 2 new tattoos today. So they still got the sticky stuff on them. So, and the poor guy looked at me and he said, I hope they don't have any more kids. You're running out of acreage. I got a kick out of that. I laughed at him. But I thought it was funny. I thought that's a pretty good joke. I thought the same thing. I thought, well, I hope we don't have many more because I'm running out of acres. I'm going to have to shift to the other arm. And I told my husband I'd always keep my right arm clear because when you shake hands, that right arm is what people see first. And so I wanted to keep it clear. But, you know, if I have more grandbabies, we'll just move to the other arm. I don't care. Well, Marcus, you got to be smart. I tell you, you do. And I'm here to tell you, people think lawyers are smart. Lawyers ain't smart. They're lazy. They're lazy and they want money. Am I lying? Tell me. Anybody am I lying? They're lazy. Oh, these public defenders. Oh, I'm going to help these people and I'm going to help enrich their lives and get them out of these problems and find them programs. No, you're not. No, you're not. Because when it comes right down to it, you are a Barbie and you think they're trash and you think you're too good to help them. And I couldn't stand people like that. Oh, Lord, they got on my everlasting loving nerve. And I just, couldn't take it. And I hated when people like that would try to work in that field because you got to be rough to work in that field. Now, I worked in slaughterhouses, hunting lodges, taxidermy shops. I mean, worked in livestock, helped my dad shoe horses. He was a blacksmith. I don't think I'd ever worked a woman's job. No, I did medical transcription. That was a woman's job. But you got to want to be there to help these people because if you ain't, you're going to screw them up because they're going to look to you for guidance and help. And if you can't offer it, you're going to screw them up because they think that's where that help is supposed to come from. And then these sorry people don't help. It's like I had a family call me a couple weeks ago and they said, we just got your name by a friend who said you might be able to tell us why they haven't got my uncle's sentence calculated because he should be getting out in the next couple weeks. And I thought, oh, God. Knowing the county it was, I said, yeah, I probably know why. I said, here's the first thing you do. I said, call the circuit court clerk and see if they have it on file. She goes, oh, I've already called. They don't. I said, okay, here's the second thing to do. I said, you call the judge's office and ask if it's there waiting to be signed. Ding, ding, ding. This man was fixing to time out, was fixing to start serving time over. And the IPO of that jail was too sorry to do his job. So they were going to make that man serve over until that family called me and I said, no, this is how you fix this. Now, I don't care what you did. If you served your time, you served your time and you get to come out. You know? And he had flattened, so he was ready to come out. And they were going to make him serve over. And I thought, that's how stupid these people that they think they run this justice system, that's how stupid they are. And then they would say, you need to send 30% of your inmates back to prison. Not if 30% haven't violated the terms of their probation or parole. You know, everything's corrupt, y'all. Y'all think this world is, everything's running properly. I'm pretty sure that a goat with a pencil could manage this country more effectively than the people we got in office right now. Y'all can get mad at me if you want to by saying that. But honestly, as soon as anybody gets to the rank of having any power, they're crooked as a dog's hind leg. And you'll see those lawyers making backroom deals to get each other's kids out of trouble. And I'm sitting there going, excuse me? It's frustrating. It's frustrating. And then they will work so hard to get somebody in trouble. Somebody that don't mean crap to them, but they'll work so hard to get them in trouble or get them a lousy deal, a lousy plea deal. But then they'll go and lie to get their friend's child, out of some stupid idiocy he did on purpose. So, I'm kind of ashamed I ever had a badge in the first place. Boy, when I gave it up, I felt like I lost a goddamn ton. I swear I did. And the little peckerhead that escorted me out to my car, because he had to escort me out, I said, what do you follow me for? And I made sure to park off of government property. I parked on public property because I ain't stupid. And he followed me to my vehicle. I said, well, I'm just making sure you didn't take anything. I said, I handed everything in three days ago. I said, I have just been doing filing for the last week. I said, what in the world are you getting at, bud? I said, I was the best officer here. And I said, excuse me if I have a health issue and I have to leave. And he goes, well, I just want to make sure you didn't take anything. I said, again, I've signed everything in. It's already at the district office. Well, I just wanted to make sure. And I said, hey, you know something? It's 4:32 and I'm no longer a state or federal employee. And I said, you want to know something? I said, you've known me as an officer for the last decade. I said, you run into me again, you ain't going to know me as an officer. I'm going to be old redneck Liz. And I said, I would suggest you run the other way. And I came across him one time in town. I had to go get my tags, and that was when the courthouse was still the courthouse. They hadn't built the Justice Center. He saw me and turned and ran. I thought, well, at least he took me at my word. Because I had never met a more belligerent, rude, just assaultive person. He would come in there, and I had a tooth pulled and had a black eye one week, and he come in and said, what do you tell a woman with two black eyes? Nothing. You done told her once. And or you done told her twice. And I just looked at him and I thought, buddy, I have thrown cattle bigger than you. What are you trying to do? But he was just a butthole. And because of tenure, and because if you show up, whether you do your job or not, if you just show up because of tenure in TDOC, you can just become something special just by sitting in your seat every day. You don't have to even do your job good. You just gotta sit there, which is stupid. And he is now like a district director. Well, he put a black mark on my name, even though it was a medical reason that I left. I called the Tennessee State Commissioner last week, and I said, we need to have a talk. So I'm going to get my name cleared because little Mr. Turd doesn't get to dictate things like that. So that's where I am. But yeah, that's my rant on the Department of Corrections. I'm sure Marcus is right there with me. Yeah, Louisiana's pretty daggum rough. They say about every county, about every jail in Louisiana is like Hardeman County in Tennessee. And Hardeman County was, and it's a society within a society, and people don't respect people that come out and try to stay out because, hey, let's just be honest. Once you get in there and you learn the rigmarole, it's a lot easier to make a living in jail, in prison, isn't it? Go just answer honestly, Marcus. It's a lot easier. Once you learn the ropes and you get the right connections, it's a lot easier to make money and bring you whole family home plenty of money from the clink. It's real easy. It takes a very determined person to come out and decide to really change their life. So, good on you, Marcus. And the best revenge for all those people that sent you down the river is a good life. Best revenge. That's what I'd always tell my guys. The best thing to do is just to have a good life and make them wonder. Make them wonder if they sent you to jail correctly or not. But now I've got 2 violent ones that are being released in the next couple months. And so I have to be a little careful then. Don't worry, Gypsy, it's not right now. But I've got a few getting released in the next couple months that I'm going to have to watch out for because they basically left threats when they didn't know me. I just did the pre-sentence investigation. They didn't even know me. And I was like, well, you little heifers. But some people you just can't deal with, and some people you can. Okay, right now I've got this side done. I've got a little birdie in it. I'm going to go on this side and decorate it up a little bit more and put a birdie on it. I'm into birds lately. I don't know why. Maybe it's because birds. Do birds have thyroids? I'm going to look that up. Oh, wait, everybody. If you have a GOOGLE, I'm fixing to say something, so you have to cover it. Hey, Google. Do birds have thyroids?
On the website pubmed.ncbi.nlm.nih.gov, they say, the thyroid gland of birds is a paired organ. It is located on the ventral surface of the base of the neck within the thoracic inlet.
Well, they have one, but apparently it doesn't seem as important. Maybe I should have been a bird. Maybe I should have been a bird. And I'm also trying to catch up on Sabrina's videos. So if anybody wants to give me the Cliff Note versions, I appreciate it because I'm so far behind. Because every time I lay down, I fall asleep. It's lovely. Thank you, Priscilla. Hi, Leba Cats. Hey, you wouldn't believe it, but my pool after just 3 days is just as pretty. It's almost right there. It's just looking so good. And my husband, he said that was a lot easier. And I said, yeah, I know. And he did it all on his own because I can't do it. I haven't been here. But my nurses, even though I've been down at Mom and Dad's, my nurses said, you have got to continue with your therapy. And I was like, fart. But okay, we got to continue with my therapy. So that means I have to drive another freaking 3 hours a week twice to do physical therapy in the pool. But I will give props to my husband, who we're separated right now. He's tolerating my existence here because my nurses are making me stay here. he told me what's going on. He said he cannot watch me die, and he can't take care of me, and he feels useless, and he basically just wants out. You know, it happens. Crap happens. I think he's just terrified of losing me, and he's slicking out now before the bad crap hits. And honestly, I can't blame him because I know it's going to get worse. This disorder is going to be what kills me. But I mean, I have to sit here and deal with it, so I can't just kind of leave. Say, excuse me, pardon me, I'm out. I did put also some red carnelian on this right here. So put some good juju in there for whoever gets this. Boy, it's a heavy sucker. I bet you it weighs 20 pounds. No, it's more like 8. I'm exaggerating. I have to exaggerate at least twice a day. I'm out of glue again. Next time I buy glue sticks, I'm going to get them giant ones so that I don't have to change glue sticks so often. Oh, tomorrow I have got, ouch. Tomorrow, I've already done one of these, but I've got it hung up and I'm not about to go dig it out. Tomorrow I'm going to make a hanger on this and then do the shell dangles with the beads. And I've got 3 more, but I don't know if I can stand to do 3 of them because the one I did yesterday took me like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And I was like, by the time I got done. Like I can sew a complete raccoon or beaver hat or even a raccoon bag in that time. And I just made a sun catcher. And I was like that's not quality time for me. And so I've got to, buddy, can I just have one more sprig of eucalyptus? But I like to do them, but I want to find something that I can do that doesn't eat my time up. Because I can only, those things are only worth so much. And if you make them, my air conditioner's on auto. If you make them and then you want to sell them, you eat a lot of money because you can only get so much for them. So, because I'm not going to rip somebody off. So, oh, and I've got willow up and drying for everybody that was asking about. Dad burn it with my moss. That was asking about my dream catchers. I've got willow up circled and drying. So I'll be doing the willow here soon, the willow dream catchers here soon. But this is what keeps my arthritis in my hands from taking over. And so I'm going to keep crafting until I croak because If I don't, my hands will lock up because I have got, with this disorder, I've got a lot of other issues. And I've got a really morbid sense of curiosity. So if you're on this channel and you've hung out this long, hey, good for you. I look like Joe Dirt today. You can go ahead and laugh about that. I thought it was funny too when I got my hair cut. But it will grow out pretty. We've got it planned to grow out. And I had to shave my sideburns when I had mastoiditis this winter. And so we had to cut down to where it would balance those out. And, ow, I burnt myself like 5 times now. But I think when it grows out, it'll be really pretty. We'll just have to wait and see. But I bet you $5. No. I think it's going to be pretty. Okay. I'm trying to get little twigs put specifically in this place. Okay. Okay. Get my moss hanging here. Okay, I'm going to put one more bird on the very top. And this, again, is on an old hurricane lamp that didn't have a top. I put a floral, I think they call them a flute or a floral trumpet on top out of wire. This has got a cast iron bottom. I found it at a thrift store. I fell in love with it. I really wanted to keep it for myself. But I have a really tiny house and I make way too much crap. So that ain't going to happen. And down at Mom and Dad's, I have already taken everything that I can fit in my little area. So it's not going to happen. But I have to keep crafting. It keeps me sane. So I've got birds. Where's my birds? Kim pulled a good one the other day. She said, I'm going to flip you a bird. And she did. She flipped me an actual bird that I had ordered. I thought that was pretty good. I laughed. Let's put a dove on top. I don't know. He may not match. Where's my birds? Oh, my aunt gave me this. It is a ceramic pig that flies. I mean, it's cute, but I don't get it. Everybody else got like flutes, glass flutes and stuff, and I got a pig that flies. Hang on, I see my birds. Oh, God, I can barely stand up. If I fall, somebody call 911. I'm joking, I'm not going to fall. I don't think so. Okay, sorry, moving slow today. My legs are weak. This is a bucket of birds, ain't it? Look at there. That's how much I like birds. Why do they put plastic bags over plastic? I don't understand. But you can't have plastic straws in California. I don't get it. Hi, everybody. Hi, Colin. I was just saying I've got the willow cut and circled and drying. Because yours, you're going to have 3 circles in each one. So that is 9. had to do math. That is 9 willow circles for each one that have to be moderately the same size. So I like this. Look at these little birds. Okay, I'm going to stick a couple of these little inconspicuous birdies in here. So anybody that come in late, oh, got an empty spot. Anybody that come in late, I have got my ultrasound Wednesday for my thyroid. And then I go to the, just thank you for passing out right there. Then I go to the endocrinologist to set up the surgery, and then they're going to take out my thyroid because apparently the numbers it's throwing, I should get a trophy, but somehow I never get a trophy, but I should get one. And so I've gone and cut my hair in preparation for the surgery because I can't have anything that will get in my neck right here. So I can pull this back and clip it. And then I've got the Joe Dirt haircut, but it'll grow back. I'm not worried about it. And because I only have one of my grandchildren's name tattooed on me, I felt bad should something bad happen during the surgery. And I only have one. I went and got the other 2 tattooed on today, and they still got this Saran wrap sticky crap on them. You know, the little thing that holds the inks. They just started using those. I'm old school. You just get a tattoo and walk out the door. But now they use these little things that catch the ink drainage for the first night. And I'm like, oh, cool. I'm going to rip it off here in a minute because I don't do that. But so I got my other baby's names on me. Now, how do I know tattoo artists? That's how I got that done. How can you not be a retired parole officer and not know at least 10 tattoo artists. Okay, now I want to put a colorful birdie up here at top. This is lamb's ear, and I want to flatten out my lamb's ear. And I'm going to put some more moss up there. Betty, I have gone through the moss today. So when I have the house alone, when Dave's at work, I just craft. I just make messes, and I dare him to say anything about him because I'm stuck here because of my nurses until they tell me I can go back down the hill after my ultrasound is read. And so I just kind of look at him like, I dare you to say anything about the mess I made. I dare you. I dare you. But to be quite honest, I think I actually do more cleaning when he's gone because he won't do a dish. So I figure that when I am completely not ever coming back for junk and stuff, I figure the house will probably go to crap. That's the theory I have. We're going to wait and watch and see. Okay, I need to, well, I want to sit them different ways. Here, let's do this. I did get to voicemail with the grandbabies the other day. They were cute. Ow, 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 that hurt. Okay. Okay, now there'll be some fixing, but it's got feathers, flowers, eucalyptus. It's got a bird on top of the big orange tail, and it's got a little birdie hanging there hiding out, and then it's got, where did my little, oh, I put one in there that's, there he is. I got one little one in there hiding right there. And it's on an old hurricane base lamp with a cast iron bottom. And I think it's cute. I'm really into turning things that aren't meant for things into really weird things. Matter of fact, let me show you what I made just the other day. There's all my quilts. My mother's bringing another quilt by tomorrow. She said, you want to take me home? I said, my nurses won't let me go home until they read my ultrasound. So I'm stuck, or I totally skipped town with Mom. This is the prettiest thing I think that I've made all week. This is an old china set that I found for $3 when I was with Gypsy thrifting. I put a birdhouse on it that's got the lid up there. You wouldn't believe the E6000. It's got peonies and other lichens. It's got 2 birds and, I mean, just tons of flowers and 2 birds. Isn't that cute? And it's all glued and it going nowhere. Isn't that beautiful? Weighs about 9 pounds. But hey, it's pretty. It looks real pretty on the countertop over here. But I have kind of taken over all the countertop spaces. I do feel kind of bad about that. Okay. Now I have this little box that I totally got. I ain't going to be able to log into my iPad again because I have burnt my thumb. Well, thank you for the sound effects. It's called onomatopoeia, and next time you should make more accurate sounds. But, honey, you tried, and that short bus is hard to get off of, but you'll do it, honey. You just keep trying, okay? Let's see here. I got this little box right here, and I'm going to fill it the bottom with straw and ivy. And I have more flowers coming in, so I'm going to halfway do this one, and then I'll finish it when I get the next flower shipment in. I hate waiting on flowers. That's like my most horrible thing to, I mean, I just hate waiting on flowers because I get ready to use them and then they never show up. Or my nurses will have said, can you come up here and meet me so I don't have to drive an extra hour today? And I'm like, okay, sure. Mama, bring me. And then while I'm up here, my flowers are coming down there. And I'll get the delivery notice and I'm like, I've got to wait 3 hours now before I can craft it. Okay, so I'm gonna use one of these and just kind of cut it into like look like straw. Like hay, you know, like hay for you farm people that have seen hay. You have to get the middle broke first. And it does have a wire, and so you do have to kind of work it. Don't make me break out in a Missy Elliott song. People do not know how to act their age. This whole world, the whole reason they started the internet, instead of us sharing intellectual ideas and thoughts, they wanted to create a playground for sociopaths and psychopaths. Because almost anyone that comes home from a normal job and goes straight online to harm or intentionally create mischief, mayhem, or even felonious crap, slander, and everything else, it's because they have sociopathic and I have a master's in psychology. They have antisocial behaviors, which they are now turning into sociopathic and psychopathic behaviors because they are allowed to be completely anonymous, which then really gets their gears to turning because then they can do whatever they think they want. But they don't understand. Okay, we don't have a lot of laws about the internet yet, but what we do have is a lot of ways to get data and metadata, and a lot of ways to GPS and find you, and a lot of ways to know what all you've done on your phone. And it's just amazing what a forensics data team can do. I mean, buddy, I've sat through some of the trials and been like, dang, I ain't never doing that on my phone again. So, they come out here and they do these stupid things and they think they're getting away with something big because I'm talking down to somebody else. Well, I stay up supervised murders for a decade. You think I ain't been called everything but a white girl? You are late to the train, buddy. Okay? So then they come in and they're like, well, I'm a big man. I get anonymously on the internet and I say nasty things to kind people. I'm pretty sure I got a pet rabbit that's meaner than you. At least he has claws. All you got's a voice. But then eventually they'll turn into where they either go after somebody or somebody will find out that they are manipulating, doing something stupid on the internet, or becoming a predator. And, then they get in trouble and there they go, And it's just, you see this every time. So if you ever see somebody that just intentionally goes into a room, never has any kind of conversation, just goes to just berate people, they are one of the people that they made the internet for. That's their playground because they certainly can't live in real society and they can't function in real society. So they function in their little make-believe land where they're the bully. But no, in life, you say boo and they pee down both legs. So, And I'm here to tell you, the people that make the most noise about I'm a big man, those are the biggest wieners you'll ever come across. They are the biggest pansies. My God. Like when you're coon hunting, you got a dog that sounds real mean, that's the first one back to the truck if something goes crazy in the woods. Like we had a mountain lion squall one night. That big old bad dog that boy thought was so bad, he was the first one back to the truck. Sorry thing. But, everybody's got to think they're something. What do I think I am? I think I'm a little old lady that likes to craft and I like to be left alone. But I also know that about 3% of the population are mean. And rather than, 30% of the population that's kind being on the internet, they normally spend their time with people, interpersonal relationships, which are great. But because I'm disabled and I can't go out, unless I'm carded by somebody else right now because of the stupid thyroid issue and my disorder, then, this is how I socialize, which I have really great subs. I have a family of subs. But when you find that one ding-a-ling, now you know who they are, why they're there, and why they're doing it. They ain't got nothing else to do. They have no life. They have no goals. They have no friends. They have no reason to go unless it is to hurt somebody else. And, buddy, that's a sorry shame of a life to live. That's a sorry shame of a life to live. That's worse than a suck-egg dog. I mean, what use are you to humanity? Find something to do with yourself and with your life that makes you feel good about yourself. Because I know you don't feel good about yourself when you do nasty things like this on the internet. Because I know you question yourself when you lay down at night. Because I know you feel that little question of, is this the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? You're not. You're not. But you're too scared to answer that question because this is all you got. Well, if you start talking to people like they were somebody, you might make a friend. You might smile a little bit more each day. You might not get passed over at work for raises and stuff and new positions because you're more sociable and you're kinder to be around. And there's a lot of good things come from being a nice person. But the people that don't want to know that don't want to know that. And you can't force somebody to be nice. So we just have to let some of them be rotten. And normally they'll end up in the corrections department, or they'll end up in some kind of 5150 30-day voluntary hold. And you just have to let life take its course, because you can't fix everybody. First thing I figured out when I started working in that field, you can't fix everybody. I wish I could. If I could, the world would be a great place, and I'd make everybody as happy as I know how to make them. But you can't fix everybody. Wish I could. Can't. Have to make peace with that one. But what the other person has to make peace with is, who are you? Who are you, and what do you give to this evolution of society that you so hate? Because if you so hate it, you should be trying to fix it. And if you ain't trying to fix it, you're just as sorry as everybody else, you think sorry. So it's kind of a catch-22. You can't call other people out for being sorry when you ain't doing nothing to change the world either. I still send about 20 people to drug rehab a year because the jail up here is too lazy to do it. The IPO, the institutional parole officer, is too lazy to do it. So their families call me and they're like, we don't know what to do. Okay, well, you don't have insurance, you don't have money. We're going to have to find a grant bed or a scholarship bed. Let's just start calling on the phone. He needs to sign this piece of paper so I can represent him on the phone. So we go in and get the piece of paper signed. And then we start trying our darndest to get him into a place to where perhaps he will become a better person and leave drugs behind. So, and I'm very proud of what I've done with my life. But it was a pain in the butt some days. But the people that I've helped, they show up and say thank you. I got more Mother's Day thank yous from people that I had supervised than I did from children. And I thought, that's kind of weird, but okay, I'll take it as kindness, I just thought it was weird, but, at least they express their kindness at, their new life and how they're doing. And they come to me when they have problems, and I tell them, before you have an issue, come to me so we have a non-issue, and a lot of them have taken me up on that. And it's just about helping somebody and knowing that society is just a chain of love. Society is just a chain of love, and if we try to make it anything else, you're a douche canoe. Y'all thought I was going to say something really profound right then, didn't you? No, you're a douche canoe. Okay, so we made this little box. We put a lot of little spriggies in it. I'm going to probably push that one down more and put some green back here. But then I put a little bird in the hole with some moss. It still got the little ribbon. I'm going to put a bigger ribbon on it. I've got other flowers coming in. I'm going to put more flowers in it. And the cuties in a little hidey hole, which is where I'd like to spend half my life right now. I'm going to put some more moss on this to make it look a little bit more natural. Night, Gypsy. I'll see you tomorrow. That's how close I am with my subs. And my house will be nasty, so just, be prepared. Walk on in. I am trying to catch the house. I truly am. Like, I don't want to leave the house pitifully dirty when I do leave. Like, I don't want to be that mean, I don't want to leave him in a nasty house. But there's only so much I can do with this thyroid and this thyroid medicine. And, oh, my gosh. I mean, it's really hard on me right now. But I'm trying. So, and the medicine has helped, but it still makes you feel like crap. It makes you feel like crap. So, for anyone that's missing my dad's antics, don't worry. We'll be back down there shortly. And as soon as they get the readings, this ultrasound, they will let me get farther from the triage center, because they're like, listen, it would take an ambulance, 30 minutes to get to you and then 30 minutes to get back to the triage center or to another hospital. They're like, we can't. And my nurses and doctors, they rule the roost. So I'm stuck here until I get my ultrasound read. And if the numbers have changed at all, they will let me go back down to the farm because I don't like being up here, and I don't sleep well when I'm up here. And because I've got a lot of people coming out that were dangerous in the next couple months, I just don't want to be here. I think the farm life agrees with me much more, which y'all may think is mean of me, but the farm life is much more agreeable to me. I'll put one little orange flower in here. So when I've bought stuff and I've sat and worked in my mind what I'm going to do with it, it's real easy to put it together if I've thought about it and set it together and thought about it for a while. Normally, I make a mess and I never know what I'm doing, and I do a lot of oopsies before I actually get anything made. But I have been planning these for a while, so these have not been so bad. But I've got some other stuff that I actually am going to need Gypsy to help me with. Let's see if I can glue him right there. He looks cute right there. No, don't stick your foot there. Because it's going to be a little bit more time consuming art, and if she can help me do that, I can get it done and it won't tire me out as much. But I wish I quit burning myself. Okay, now we got the birdie in the front in the hidey hole and the ribbons. I'll put a better ribbon on there when I get my ribbon found, and then I put a little birdie in the back by an orange flower. Isn't he cute? And then I like to put one or two really a little bit taller and kind of weirder flowers underneath them, just to kind of make them pop a little bit. So, okay. Well, I can't see, mine is not low working. So normally if it's low functioning, they can give you medicine to make it amp up and work correctly. Mine is working so fast that it's killing it. It's killing itself. It's working so fast that it's stopping. It's working so fast that I was losing 4 pounds in 6 days. Not that I'm anywhere close to starvation. Hey, we can all tell that. But it was getting too much, and I was losing a lot of lean muscle, and my brown rings under my eyes are much better. But I was really sick. And they kept doing the test, and it was just going so high. They were like, we don't know how it's still functioning. We don't know how you're still walking. We don't know how, and they said, we've got to get this. Oh, I found a pretty ribbon. They said, we've got to get this checked out, and we've got to see what's going on. It was 3 times. It was basically like the highest numbers that can be possible. And they said, we've got to get this out of you. And I said, well, crap. No, if you want to know what I said, well, crap. So that's what I'm going in for now. Hypo is low. Hyper. Anyway, it's backwards for thyroids. This is what screwed me up. But they said what they call mine, what has happened, is she went back like 14 or 15 years in my blood work. I signed all the releases, and she said, this has been going on for a while with you. She said they just wouldn't check more than a couple blood work, back. And she said they were not seeing it. And I was like, well, isn't that sweet of them? And she said, yeah, well, a lot of doctors just don't look that far back. They just are in a hurry. And so she went like 14, 16 years back. I was very thankful. And then she wanted to go before I got hurt, before the axe injury when I worked at the wilderness boot camp. She wanted to know if I'd had problems before that, because an issue like that can cause a lot of problems. So I signed for more, and we went back and dug through my past, more doctors that I'd seen through all that sports medicine and before it. And she found out that basically it's been doing this. It's been cycling slowly. Like it'll work for a little while, then it'll speed up and go too fast, and then it kind of drop off and stop, and then it'll function all right. Okay. But now it's doing it like this, which is making it run so hard. They said it's gonna kill you. And if we don't get it stopped, it'll kill you. before, if we don't get it stopped, it'll kill you. And I said, okay. So I was kind of irritated about how long it took him to get me a goddamn ultrasound established, but I had to call and fuss out a little bit. And I said, literally, the building is 5 minutes down the road. I said, how long is it going to take you to call somebody that's 5 minutes down the road and get me an ultrasound before I die? And about 30 minutes later, she called and said, it's Wednesday at 9:15, because I was irritated because I was told how dangerous this was. Okay, I like that bow a little bit better. I may make it shorter. I like that bow a little bit better. Okay. I put my little hidey hole bird up. Okay, so I made 2 things tonight. I like my little hidey hole bird. I think he's my favorite. He's just little and unexpected. You just don't think he's there, and then boom, there's a little bird there. I like that. I'm still trying to get some of this straw to stay where I want it. But I'm trying to keep myself busy so I don't think about things. But I've already got, like, if something bad happens, I've already got the kids as my beneficiaries on my bank account, because I have my own bank account now. And I've got everything situated should something occur. So nothing to worry about. I think my mother thought it was morbid that I was trying to be prepared, but I'm not a person that can't be. I can't not be prepared. I have to be prepared. Well, I'll try to get the paperwork and share it with you when they give it to me. Because when they give it, then it'll take the radiologist about a day to read it, and then I'll get the whole shebang, and we'll just go through and see what they said. But I was paying super close attention, because when she told me what it was, I was like, what? Because I never assumed it was my thyroid because of everything else that's wrong with me. I thought, surely it's not that. And I was just kind of like, it just took me by surprise, and I was just kind of stumped. But they said basically at the rate it's running, the only thing we could do, because I was losing weight so fast, and which is not a bad thing. I've still got a lot more weight to lose, but I was losing it so fast. I was losing lean muscle, and it was getting hard to walk. And I've done a month of physical therapy twice a week now, and I'm just getting to where I can get myself up off the sofa without almost falling. And I got ruined because the first couple of days I would sit in Mom's raised chair, and it would raise me up. My mother has one of those, and I'd be like, I'm going to sit here and I'll raise myself up. And I got kind of spoilt to that. And then I sat on, they got a catnapper sofa, and I could barely get myself up off that thing without absolutely about falling. And that's when it was like, okay, no more sitting in the raised chair. We've got to get the muscles back. And my physical therapist is a wonderful woman, and boy, she will crack the whip. And it's coming back, and my legs are doing better. But the medicine is slowing down the thyroid, the heartbeat, and all the shakes. It was making me have a real bad tremor again. All the shakes are slowing down. So they're like, as soon as we get it out, it should level out with, they'll have to put me on thyroid medicine the rest of my life, but it should level out, and I should be able to lose the rest of my weight I've been trying to lose and get to where I want to be. But I'm telling you what, y'all, I never, like, I should write a book about how sick a person can be when they have been I was nothing but healthy until I had my first child. And I had some issues after my first child, but I bounced back and was working, doing great. Had my second child, had to go straight back to work. I think that's a problem. When my second child was 10 days old, I had to go straight back to work into the horse barns, because that was where I could work without a doctor's signing me out, because my stupid ex-husband flipped a four-wheeler and broke his arm, because, he has no reason to be careful on a four-wheeler. He just had a wife and 2 babies, Idiot. So I had to go back to work, and I was cleaning like 20-something stalls a day, riding 10 horses, and just doing farm labor. And it was hard on me. It was hard on my body. And it took him, because he had to have a whole new elbow constructed, and it was forever. It took him forever to get over that to where he could go back to work. And by then, I think I just broken my body down, because Haley was 10 days old when I went back to work. And I knew I didn't need to be working, but I also knew that family had to eat. So it's just what you do. But I think that's probably what broke me down so bad. But life. It is what it is. But I think that's probably that. And I have no estrogen, and I've always had 3 times the testosterone women are supposed to have. And so she said that's probably not been helpful either. So, but when I get the results back, we'll talk about it, because I definitely want to make sure we all know the right version too. So as soon as I get the paperwork back and the radiologist has read it, I'll share it with you, because like I said, I'm a wait and see, learn and watch channel, and I don't care to share my medical crap with you, because I've had some really weird medical stuff happen, and it came out of nowhere. And if I can help somebody else see it before it blindsides them, that's kind of what I'm here for. So, Billy, last little bit's been rough though. But well, I'm going to shut up and put my little craft that I made over there, and then I'm going to sweep up all the moss that I put in the floor. And then I'm going to rest, because Gypsy comes tomorrow, and I want to have enough energy to at least we can enjoy a visit and do a few arts and crafts. She's going to take me to my ultrasound, and she's just the best friend, because I don't have the energy to get to her. And I've been wanting to visit for a while. And she just, bless her heart, said, I'm coming to you. And with the request to be up here until I get the ultrasound results back, it made me feel a lot better, because I've got somebody with me, because I don't like to be alone right now. Because I've about passed out 3 times, and I have only ever passed out in my life when I've been headbutted by bulls or tromped on and dumped by horses. So it was kind of scary to pass out for no good reason. So I'm going to feel better having somebody with me. Of course, Kim is always just 6 minutes away, but I can't always bother her. Bless her heart. Bless her heart. Now, Priscilla, I know you'd be here in a heartbeat if you wasn't so far away. I know. Colin, thank you. I will. And just keep an email touch, because I've got stuff drawing. And when I get the first one woven, I'll send you a picture. And if you don't like it, we'll redo it. I will make sure that you like them. I've ordered some more flowers and ribbons, but the bulk of it is going to be the willow and the natural. I may even use sinew on yours, so that I'll have as much natural in there as I can. But because of the international shipping, there's certain things I can't ship. I appreciate it. This is the first time I've been on, and it's because literally all I do is sleep, and then I'll try to wash a dish or pick up my room and fold my clothes. And I try to stay up here in the evening until the sun sets, and then my bedroom, in fact, it's Haley's old room. Look at how much weight I've lost, guys. Look at this. I never have had flab. I have flab, and I have no muscle. It's ate my muscle away. It's killing me. I don't know what it's not. I mean, I've never not been broad and mean. Now I'm just flabby. But I'm back there, and it gets about right now. It starts getting cool enough to lay down and just put a fan on to be okay. And that's just the little end of the house that likes to stay warmer than the rest of the house. I don't know why, but considering as I've been chilly the last few weeks, I guess it worked out. And it's chilly too. Well, Colin, I'm excited to make something to send it over there, and it's giving me something to focus on. And then if I can do that, I've got some people that are wanting some dream catchers made for some issues. And so those, I always enjoy making those, but I only ever weave them when I'm happy and I'm focused. And I've got those. I've got some young ladies that have contacted me having some problems. But I'm excited to make something that's going to go across the pond. So I do have some work in Prague. I mean, I do have some work in Prague, but that's because I send stuff to Phoebe. And Phoebe sends stuff to me. But I do have stuff in Prague. I was looking. No, I've got a letter. He wrote my first grandbaby a letter when she was born about how he was half the world away, but he was celebrating her coming into the world. And so she needed to know that she was loved. all the way around the world. It was such a sweet letter. He's such a sweet man. But I'm just excited to send stuff across the pond. It's nice to send my artwork out, and I've got the 2 rattles. One's gone already, and then I've done 2 more for the tribe. So they'll probably, I think they're going to pick those up Friday. And it's always an honor to have the tribe take one or more of my talking sticks or rattles. And in this case, I made all rattles, which is really weird because I normally don't do that. So I've been doing stuff. I'm just hard. I stayed hard. I felt better today, so I wanted to pop in and say howdy. And my kitchen table is just a crafting mess, but that's okay because me and Gypsy are going to go through it tomorrow. And I'll be back when I have another good day of energy, or if I get results from the doctor. Soon as the radiologist reads it, and then they'll send it out to the I can talk. They'll send it out to they're not sending it to my auntie. They're sending it to the endocrinologist. As soon as he does a secondary, if anything changes, then I'll tell you then too. But I asked for a second opinion, so we'll see what happens. But everybody just keep praying for Sabrina, keep praying for Denise, keep praying for Ashley. We know what Ashley's adopted daughter went through about a week and a half ago. The world's just turning into a bad place. We need to pray for each other and keep each other on our minds and be proud of people like Marcus that are coming out and changing their ways and making themselves more productive people, within society. We need more of those people. And so just keep everybody in your thoughts and prayers. And, if something happens and I don't make it through this surgery, at least I don't have to listen to all this presidential election crap that's fixing to hit the fan. Look at it like that because, hey, I'll be better off than everybody else here. So don't worry about me. Oh, prayer works big time. But I'm not afraid to go home. So, I don't want to. I want to be here to watch my grandbabies grow up, but I'm not afraid to go home. And I think that scares some people but I've had this disorder. I made peace with death a long time ago. I should have kicked it a long time ago. I'm just belligerent, I guess. I just refuse to die. But we are having a really hard time in this nation. And honestly, with what they're doing politically and legally with the justice system. Oh, did anybody notice the raid and the people with weapons that defaced on D-Day when Biden was crapping his pants in France? Sorry, had to say it. Did anyone notice the people in front of the White House that were protesting and rioting and dismembering and painting nasty things on our founders? And the funny thing is they were doing one that was for what they were fussing about. But you can't teach some people about these things. But they didn't arrest anybody. There were no arrests. Only one NBC, like low line station covered it. Nobody knows about it. Nothing happened. And I'm just like, tell the truth, people. When people are dirtbags, just tell us they're dirtbags. If they do something stupid, tell us to do something stupid. Doesn't matter what side it's on, we need to know. As people that are trying to coerce this society, we need to know where the dirtbags are. So I'm just like, will you just stop lying to everybody and tell us the truth, But for me, as a retired parole officer and somebody that has gone through so many trials and done pre-sentence investigations for so many courts, for me to see somebody convicted on 34 counts of that was out of the statute of limitations, basically made up, because in the trial, the lawyer said he stole the money he gave to the woman. Well, excuse me, right there was your dismissal. Right there was your dismissal without prejudice, because it wasn't his money that went to the woman. It was money stolen by his lawyer that was misallocated by his lawyer and his lawyer's mysteriously craven behavior. That man is pretty sure I'm pretty sure if you poke him, he'd squeal because he's a pig. It's just how I feel about it. But I'm just appalled, and it for me it wouldn't matter which side was up there if it's not the legal justice, if it's not the law being followed, we're screwed. And as Americans, if they'll go that high, just wait, just they're gonna be building prisons, they're gonna be putting us in them. You ain't gonna be able to sneeze or fart above a B flat without doing something wrong and getting your butt stuck in prison, because when they get this much power, it only gets worse. Stupid air conditioner kicks on. But I am just like appalled that, and I saw some of the video from the footage of their behavior on that day, and I thought, my God, if anybody on the other side of the fence had done that, it would have been all over the news, and another unarmed insurrection. And it's just kind of like, come on now, we've got to be a better society. Well, I have to tell you, that took a lot of effort. Good for you. Go get your cookie and glass of milk and calm down and get ready for bed. we got a lot of people on both sides that need to see some jail time. And I think it needs to start with Anthony Fauci, because if I've been alive a long time, okay, and I'm a huge Queen fan. I have Freddie Mercury on me, and I'm big friends with Phoebe Peter Freestone. I've researched into the AIDS epidemic as it first started, the patents and the problems with the French. Why is it always the problems with the French? Why? Anyway, if he had not held out for that, I want the patent, I want the money. You can't have the medicine until I get the patent, which is basically what he said. So many people could have lived if he had just said, it's not about money, it's about lives being saved. So many people could have lived. And I honestly think that Freddie Mercury could have been one of them. But he did not release that medicine until they said, okay, you can have the patents, you can have the money from it. You should not, when you're saving lives, there should not be a financial component to it. It should just be something that you feel you need to do. You get a salary to do it, and you get a big hoopla if you do it well. But we should not turn around and monetize that to where you're the kingpin and you get to kill people if you don't get the money. And I just feel like this is like the second time Anthony Fauci's been a dumbass, and I'm just like, what's up with Anthony Fauci? Well, his wife is the ethics lady of Ethics My Butt. Ethics My Butt. Anybody saw Marjorie Taylor Greene and what she told him the other day in Congress when he was being questioned? That was plumb funny. She nailed him, and I was like, go get him, girl. I don't always care for the way she handles herself, but she was spot on that day. I really enjoyed that. But there's less than 500 people driving this nation right into a ditch. But there's 330 million of us. Therefore, Congress is a gnat on a bull's ass. How do we get the bull to figure that out? I'm trying. Denise, she's always on it. I've kind of played with him, Denise. I've kind of been mean to him today. But I appreciate everybody's attention. I'm going to sweep up all the moss that did not make it into my crafts, which seems to be quite a bit. I'm hoping to have another good day tomorrow. I did take an extra long nap after physical therapy today, but who can blame me? As my hair grows out, I'll look more like a girl again. I look like Joe Dirt right now. And look at the cowlicks when I first get my hair cut. Look at these cowlicks, buddy. They just are everywhere. But by the end of the week, I'm hoping to have some answers and know which endocrinologist I'm seeing, because there's 3 that specialize in different things. And then they said basically the first time he sees me, because of all the stuff we've been, keeping and watching for him, he's probably just going to go ahead and prep me and schedule the surgery. So Keep me in your prayers. No, I am from the Cumberland Plateau in Appalachia. I have a master's in psychology. Completely useless because psychology could have been used to help everybody in the world do better, but all they did was use it to constrict mankind into psychological rules and realms. They used it all backwards. Anyway, yeah, don't really care for my degree that I have anymore. Denise is on it. Denise, honey, sometimes you just have to ignore them. Bless their hearts. Sometimes they run out of crayons and Kleenex and lotion, and they just have to come bother us. Oh, and sometimes their mommies and daddies don't know that their 20-somethings are down in the basement doing this to other people. Oh, you just gotta take it as it comes. But I'll let you know when I know about my test, and I'll be with Gypsy for the next 3 days. She's going to stay up here with me so I'm not alone, because my nurses want me closer to the triage center and to them in case something goes wrong, because this medicine is not, it doesn't like me. I mean, I'm taking it because it's slowing down my heartbeat and stuff, but I don't like it. And so we're just going to go to all my appointments, which I can't drive up and down that mountain every time I have an appointment, so it's good to be here, I guess. But my nurse, Brittany, demanded that I stay this close to the triage center until we get stuff back. So here I am, and I'm trying to craft all the leftover craft stuff I have up here. I didn't know I had so much craft stuff until now I have it between 2 houses, and holy crap, I craft too much. So... Oh, did I miss something, or did you see a hidden something? Yes, I have a terminal disorder, but sadly, this is just another speed bump on the way. But like, I have a master's in psychology. I'm a retired parole officer, and I'm a retired counselor for kids and youth that were in state's custody because of trauma and addiction backgrounds. I worked mostly with violent offenders and violent juveniles. And I got attacked with an axe at the wilderness camp that I worked at, and that started a lot of issues and a lot of surgeries. And I developed a disorder it's like EMS. And so it's slowly taken my organs. And I had just lost like 90 pounds, doing so much better. So I thought I was on a great roll. Like I was on a good streak, getting better. And it got really weak, really sick, and started losing weight super fast, even though I was trying to eat my diet that we had planned out. I had a very good diet planned out. And they did a bunch of tests and found out that my thyroid is basically overworked to the point where it's dying. And so now I have to have it removed. But I have to have the ultrasound Wednesday. So I have a neuromuscular disorder, I have an autoimmune disorder, and now I have a thyroid issue, and I have deformed ears and ear canals. And it's just like, life. You just got to live it. But I try to tell everybody about my disorder because a lot of people have it and don't know, because it's not researched. It's not funded for research. Doctors don't care because they can't. It's very individual. They can't make you a consumer of medication because you have to individually symptomatically treat the person. So we're all scattered depending on where it starts. Mine started in my left leg. Other people start elsewhere. And so they don't want to put the money to research because they know they can't create a customer, a consumer that can, here's a new medicine or here's a plan and make money off of it. So they just kind of shove us in the corner and say, oh, you have the suicide disease. Well, we have the suicide disease because you all won't do your job and research our disorder. And I'm one of the people that's gone with it the longest. I'm on my 21st. I'm fixing to be on my 21st year with it. And they asked me how I made it here, and I said just sheer belligerence because I refused to give up. And once the nerves started dying, Of course, I don't have a lot of sensation in my legs and feet, but once the nerves started dying, life became a little bit more manageable. I still refuse to go in a wheelchair, but I do have a rolly cart and I do have the polio canes and I do have other canes. But I try to walk as much as possible because I know if I give up and sit in a wheelchair, I'll never get back up. And then I'll be bedbound. I watched so many of my friends die that had this same disorder, and I just refuse to go out that way. So I don't have trigeminal neuralgia, although I do have some TMJ issues that has to do with the trigeminal nerve, but it's from the other disorder. But I don't have that. But now I have a diseased nervous system. It doesn't send the correct. It doesn't like I'll think I've sent, you know, pick up the left foot, but it won't do it, or I'll have foot drop, or I'll bite my inside of my mouth a lot because it's those small little things. I'll miss my mouth with the fork a lot. It's just those small things. And then some days I'll have like a pure on Parkinsonian tremor and I can't walk. Like my legs are gone and I'm on those stupid polio crutches all day and I can't walk. And then other days I get around fairly good. I can't feel my left leg or the bottom of my left foot, but I get around fairly good on land, I know. But if I get on like everybody's like, well, you could go hiking on a good day. No, because I can't feel. And if I on uneven land, I will fall. And so it's spread to my digestive tract. Sometimes it irritates my pancreas and it will continue to spread until it kills me. I'm lucky. I know it sounds weird to sit here and say that, but I'm lucky because most people it goes straight to their heart. So I've got a few extra years because mine started in my foot and decided to hang out in my bowels. So, I'm lucky. But I watched so many of my friends die and I'm just like, I don't follow a lot of the doctors' protocols because a lot of the doctors, they want to give medicines that are just going to kill you as quick as this disorder. So I deal with the pain and take very little medicine. I'm allergic to most medicine anyway, and do a lot of natural. My great grandmother was full Cherokee. We still do a lot of natural stuff. Like I do goldenrod tincture and marshmallow root and ginseng, and we just do a whole lot of weird stuff. Potato patches and castor oil patches and cayenne pepper to help with blood flow, like if my feet are cold or something, just a whole lot of natural stuff. And so far, I've outlived everyone I was diagnosed with at the time. And I swear it's because I don't listen to the doctors. But no, this thyroid issue, it might get me. But if it does, something's going to get me eventually. But, I've had a good life. I helped a lot of people. I saved a lot of people from drug addiction. And when I worked, and I went to Queen concert with Adam Lambert, but I was front row. Got to watch Brian May play his guitar. That was just woohoo! That was the moment. And I've got to become really good friends with Peter Freestone, which was Freddie's last personal assistant that took care of him until he died. And both my kids are grown, married, and on their own, so they're good. And so I'm at a place where I can't fuss. If this is the depot, you just can't fuss. But I normally bounce back, so I probably will. But I'm not looking forward to having anything cut here because I'm afraid it'll change my voice. And I've been sending messages to the babies, the twins down in southern Georgia, so they'll know my voice. And I'm afraid it'll change my voice. That's what I'm really worried about the most. It's changed my voice, and they won't recognize me, and I'll have to start all over again. Because I've been so sick, I've not been able to hold my 2 new grandbabies. My daughter had twins. So that's what I'm really worried about. Yeah, it's called the suicide disease. Honey, it's pitiful. If you ever need to talk to somebody, my email is watersworkload@gmail.com. And if I can ever give you any little tips about how I've dealt with this stuff, and primarily all natural, so the doctors think I'm crazy. Sometimes it's just changing your mind, flipping the channels in your mind, but sometimes it's finding something that actually does work. I'm Denise. That's what I'm afraid happened to me. But we'll just have to wait and see. Maybe I'll be like Bonnie Tyler. Wasn't that her name? Total Eclipse of the Heart. No, but that's not that song. And she won like a bunch of Emmys or Grammys or something for that. So hey, maybe I'll sound better. Who knows? But yeah, if I can ever help you understand or say, have you gone through this or have you experienced this or how have you handled this or because a support group of people that have gone through this crap is the best thing you can have. So honey, if you ever need me, it's Waters Workload, all one word, Waters Workload at gmail.com. Message me, email me anytime, and I'll give you my other contacts. And I know how important it is to have an outreach, because I don't think I would have made it as long as I did without some of my outreaches. So I'm wanting to go to the Ohio clinic, trying to get both my insurances lined up to let me do that. Is like, might as well be trying to put pantyhose on a grease pig. But I'll keep trying. Everybody thinks you're a man on the phone. Hey, listen, I like them women. Was it Jane Russell? She was one of the big burly women that had kind of a deeper voice. Them women, I think some of them women are, quite pretty. They call them buxom. I guess I would be buxom. I'm just a heifer, is what I say. But Jane Russell, I always thought she was so pretty. She had a lower voice, but I always thought she was so pretty. And I thought, that's what I want to look like when I grow up. Well, I missed that one, didn't I? But, you just got to work with what you got. That's a really good song by So Called, Work With What You Got. Y'all should look that one up. But yeah, to the lady that said she had the same disorder, honey, there's my email. If you ever need me, give me a call. Oh, people with stupid, stupid questions. Well, you named yourself right, Thorns, because you're a prick. Okay, and we're going to end it on that. I'll see y'all when I feel good, and I'll let you know how my thyroid's going. I'm going to go to bed. Love you guys. Thanks for spending time with me, and we'll craft you in later. I still think this is my cutest one. Bye, guys.